The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Monday, February 1st. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Chris. It is, I'm doing pretty good, man. It's Monday, February 1st, and, yeah, it's a new day for a new week. Here we go.
Yeah, you know, January just sort of disappeared. You know, we're right into a brand new month, and hopefully February is a little bit better than even January was, which was even better than the end of 2020.
Yeah, 2021's not bad so far, so that's a good thing, and we're on Super Week this week, the week of the Super Bowl. We got that coming up this coming Sunday, and should be a fun week if you're a football fan.
Most definitely. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, folks, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, you get the Amber Alerts every once in a while that pop up on your phone or, you know, on the big signs that, you know, when you're driving down the freeway, they come through there. What is the most disturbing Amber Alert you've ever seen come across?
I don't know. I can't say I've ever seen one that was, I mean, they're all really disturbing if it's missing kids, you know, and it's usually just be on the lookout for this car, license plate, yada, yada. And so I don't know if I have a disturbing one. So.
Okay, that's good. That's
don't
good.
have much to contribute to that. So.
Okay. Well, in this case, Chucky abducted his son and is on the run while wielding a huge kitchen knife, is what some Texans were led to believe after a faulty Amber Alert was released. And Tony, by Chucky, I do mean that Chucky. The Texas Department of Safety accidentally sent out the alert Friday morning featuring the Child's Play horror series character and his seed of Chucky son, Glenn Ray. The Amber Alert blared this out. The abducted child, Glenn, all 2'3" of him, was last seen Thursday morning in Henderson, and the 28-year-old suspect Chucky was wearing blue denim overalls and carrying a knife. Clearly, it was just a horrific mistake. The Texas DPS tells TMZ, "This alert is a result of a test malfunction. We apologize for the confusion this may have caused and are diligently working to ensure this does not happen again." That might be easier said than done because, like Chucky says, I always come back.
Hey, Jack, Chucky's back.
Could you imagine getting an Amber Alert and Chucky pops up as the prime suspect on there? That'd be terrifying.
This is another, I mean, this one's pretty humorous in the sense, do you remember, I think it was last year or was it the year before, where they accidentally sent, what was that? There was one alert that like alerted the end of days or something like that. It was,
right, yeah, it was domestic terrorist alert. And
yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was something strange where we got it and you're like, what the hell? And it was a mistake.
Yeah, it was supposed to be just an emergency test, and it came out as
the Freddy
one,
or the Chucky one, excuse me, that one's pretty damn funny though.
Right. Could you imagine though? I mean, thinking that they're movies your entire life, and then all of a sudden it pops up in an Amber Alert and.
Amber Alert. There's a guy in a red and green sweater with razor blade for fingernail razor blades and a fedora. Face is a little burnt. Be on the lookout.
Well, to be fair, I did live near a home insurance salesman named Freddy Krueger. Always wondered if he covered house fires. It's true. It's true. I got the picture. I'll post it.
Man.
Well, in any case, folks, you know, we love to have a little fun on a Monday morning. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Briefly, I hate Mondays. Hate them. Therefore, I decree from this day forward, there will be no more Mondays.
No more Mondays. I'm good with that. Well, since we are on a Monday, we do have Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. We have a segment called The Wonderful World of Disney. Our call-in topic today is the greatest cereal prizes ever. You know, when you were a kid, toys came in the cereal, and sometimes they were great, sometimes they were cheesy. We want to know what your favorite was. We have another edition of Fenix Tank, Kickstarter gadgets. We close out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Monday, February 1st. Now, we have a little thing called the Fenix Line. It is our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you found Jason Voorhees on an Amber Alert. We want to know about it. Go ahead and give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, it is the second segment of this show. That means Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, February 1st. Here's your Filippo Fast Five. Carol Baskin, whose Tiger will predict the winner, slams irresponsible fans for attending the Super Bowl.
Carol Baskin.
Boo. Well, that deserves
Wow.
MGM is making a movie about the Wall Street GameStop saga based on a book by the author behind The Social Network. Again, that was fast.
Wow.
Edge wins the 2021 WWE Men's Royal Rumble from the #1 spot last night.
Wow.
Heels on Stars Stephen Amell welcome WWE alum CM Punk to the wrestling drama. So that's a real...
Wow.
Sorry, it's a Owen Wilson button. It's just seems to fit for everything on here today. Oh, the NFC won the Pro Bowl yesterday, 32-12. Kyler Murray was your MVP, and did I mention that not only was it but it was played on Madden. That's how they did the Pro Bowl yesterday. It was Madden.
Figured that would be the case.
Yeah, that was your Filippo Fast Five. It's so lame. All right, so entertainment news. We are going to start out with the box office as we actually had a release this week. Denzel Washington, let's try this again. Rami Malek and Jared Leto had a #1 movie this weekend called The Little Things. It opened in first place with $4.8 million. While that doesn't seem like a lot, it was also available on HBO Max. So you had your choice of going to the theater or staying at home watch it. It's a 1990 set crime drama, which is drawing comparisons to the movie Seven. It's got an A-list cast, and right now it's got an average of 48% on Rotten Tomatoes and a score of 54 on Metacritic.
That's it? Wow.
Yeah, so it looked like a good movie. I haven't watched it yet. I am interested in watching it. Not sure if it's playing in my local theater. I don't even know if our theaters are open here or not. I haven't looked in a while. But your top 10 this week or this last weekend was The Little Things with 4.8. The Croods: A New Age brought in 1.84, bringing its total to 43.9. Wonder Woman 84 brought in 1.3 and is at 39.2 million. The Marksman 1.25 brought in 7.8. Monster Hunter 0.74 brought in 11 mil. News of the World 10.3 mil. Promising Young Woman's up to 4.36. Fatal 5.59. The War with Grandpa
still in
19.6, number 9, and Our Friend at 0.446.
Wow.
That's it's pretty disappointing actually when you think about it. It's
well, you know,
box office is it's still kicking, but
yeah, it's limping along at this point. Obviously, The Little Things isn't much of a blockbuster movie enough to drive people in. It's more of the, award season heavy drama. Like you said, it's sort of compared to Seven. Looks fantastic, but I don't think it's a big enough draw to the box office.
Yeah, I'm very interested in seeing it. The first time I actually saw that trailer was during Pop Culture Kaboom.
Oh, no kidding!
Believe it or not, was one of the crazy little trailers we had to watch, and I was like, oh, that looks good. This week there's another movie. I don't know if it'll come to theaters, but it stars the guy of my annoying soundbite.
Wow.
Owen Wilson and Salma Hayek. It's called Bliss.
Oh, it's actually an Amazon Prime only movie.
Is that one is?
Yeah.
Okay. That's supposed to be out this week, so I don't have to go to theaters to see it. I would. It actually looked good. So
I agree.
Is he in the real world? Is he in the fake world? The premise of the movie is like is his life a simulation? Is it? It looks really good though.
It has sort of a Christopher Nolan vibe to it.
Definitely, it'll be interesting to see Owen Wilson do a serious role too.
Right.
So, maybe it's been his first year since Bottle Rocket, right? That was the movie that launched him.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, moving on to movies to TV, the Wonder Years reboot from Lee Daniels is moving forward at ABC because they're out of ideas.
Oh my God! Who the hell cares?
The Disney-backed broadcast network has handed out formal pilot orders to 3 comedies, including the reboot of The Wonder Years, featuring a black family from the Empire co-creator. The original series starred me, or my doppelganger Fred Savage, and revolved around a white middle-class family in the 1960s suburbs. ABC's new take focuses on how black middle-class family in Montgomery, Alabama in the turbulent late 60s made sure it was the Wonder Years for them, too. Comedy veteran Saladin K. Patterson will pen the script. He penned The Big Bang Theory, Frasier, and The Bernie Mac Show, alongside Daniels and his Lee Daniels Entertainment banner. Original series co-creator Neil Marlins is attached as a consultant. Savage, who broke out The Wonder Years, has maintained a long career in Hollywood, will also executive produce and direct the pilot. The potential series is produced via Disney-owned 20th Century Fox Television, where Daniels and Savage are both under overall deals. Ooh, yeah, I just see Savage. I want to bust out the Randy. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'll wait to see. The original Wonder Years was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, for its time. So, it could be done well.
Well, I don't think we need a reboot of it, but since they are doing the reboot, at least they've got some of the original people involved in it, and they're doing it the right way, but I still don't think we need it.
I don't think we need it, but you know what we do need? Another Wayne's World.
Yes.
Okay. So they are coming back. Wayne's World, party time. Excellent. Mike Myers and Dana Carvey have returned as the beloved duo Wayne Campbell and Garth Algar for a Wayne's World revival. Words are hard for me today. Swing! The pair announced their return in an advertisement break during a recent episode of Saturday Night Live. Though sadly, it's not for an often mooted Wayne's World 3, but instead finds the characters return for an Uber Eats campaign, which will air during next Sunday's Super Bowl. So, though fans might be disappointed it isn't a sequel to the SNL spinoff, it's still great to see the comedy duo back together after all these years, with both Mike Myers and Dana Carvey slipping back into their respective roles with ease. Released all the way back in 1992, the first Wayne's World was directed by Penelope Spears, produced by Lorne Michaels, and written by Mike Myers alongside Bonnie and Terry Turner, following the adventures of rock-loving slacker duo Wayne and Garth. So, I did watch I've seen the commercial already, or at least the teaser for it, and
okay.
It's pretty neat. They're like Wayne's like, "Hey Garth, 2020 was pretty awesome, right?" And they start chuckling. They're like, "Not." So it is cool. They definitely look like Garth looks the same. Obviously, Wayne definitely looks a lot older.
Right.
And you can definitely tell,
he's packed on a few pounds.
It's so black, like jet black long hair. It just doesn't really match the face anymore. But Dana Carvey's character Garth is definitely spot on, though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I want to check it out.
Yeah, so this should be fun. That's one great thing about Super Bowl week is the big game. You get the commercials, and you always look forward to the big movie trailers too. You always want those. I wonder if we're going to get much of that.
Maybe
or not.
Maybe not.
But it'd be cool to see some new trailers.
Yeah.
But what do you have coming out?
I expect we're probably going to see stuff from Warner Brothers. They did that little teaser thing that showed Mortal Kombat. It showed Suicide Squad. A little bit of The Matrix. Actually, just the logo for The Matrix. But hopefully we get some of those projects since they've already got the teasers out.
Yeah, that would be good. Something. I mean, I definitely think you'll see more Kong versus Godzilla stuff, since that's probably the biggest one coming in the near future. So, but it's good to know they're at least still making movies, so we know they're coming.
Yep.
But we're gonna transition. We're gonna go into sports now. There was 2 blockbuster trades over the weekend. One was really good. One was really bad. I'm gonna start with the really bad one because it just absolutely infuriates me. But the Cardinals trade for Nolan Arenado, and it's an absolute heist. This article, I could read it, but I'm just gonna give you the bullet points. The Colorado Rockies are the absolute most garbage baseball franchise. They're the worst in pro sports. Terrible ownership, terrible GM, terrible owners. I hope friends of the show are friends of them and they can tell them that they absolutely suck. They traded, I'm sorry, I'm a Rockies fan and I'm just really going off script with this, but they took our star player that you build around to actually have a fighting chance to compete with the Dodgers, the Giants, the up-and-coming Padres. The NL West is tough. We've never won it. What they traded him away is, like I always said, if they got rid of Nolan Arenado, I was done. And unless they traded Nolan Arenado to better the team. And what I mean by better the team is you get a king's ransom, you get multiple draft picks, you have multiple star players now in place as a whole. So if you need pitching, you get a couple of pitchers, you get a couple of defensive players or offensive players to build around. Oh no. No. The Colorado Rockies decide to trade Nolan Arenado away for 2 prospects. Yeah, not even real players. Prospects that are not even good. And on top of that, we're paying them $50 million to take our Hall of Fame player away from us. So kudos, St. Louis Cardinals. You pulled an absolute heist on us over the weekend. I've been pissed off about that all weekend. Like, legit, like, that got my blood boiling. I know it's just sports, and I don't know Nolan, and I'm not a part of the Rockies franchise, but that really upset me. That was frustrating.
Tony, how do you really feel? I mean...
I'm pissed off! Like, I went on makes me sick. So you probably won't see me sporting a lot of Rocky stuff on this show anymore.
Fair enough.
Garbage. And lastly, before we go into birthdays, on a football trade, Matthew Stafford was traded to the Los Angeles Rams for Jared Goff, 2 first-round picks, and I think a 3rd-round pick. So quite the heist for Detroit. I mean, that's a hell of a pickup for them. Yeah. They get a young franchise quarterback, a couple of first rounders, and it's huge. And then I wanted to bring up the stat I sent to my friend Stacy because she's a Rams fan. She's pretty happy with the trade. But when you look at it, in 2016, the Rams traded 2 first-round picks to get Jared Goff. In 2021, they traded 2 first-round picks to get rid of Jared Goff, which is pretty stuff. And then since 2016, that was the last time the Rams had a first-round pick, and they took Jared Goff, number 1 overall. They have not had a first-round pick. They had nothing in 17 through 20, and 2021 through 2023, they not have a single first-round pick. So quite the gamble. Hopefully it works out for Matthew Stafford down in Los Angeles, and that is the sports area of the entertainment news. Down to birthdays. Ow! This guy, he was in Dunkirk, and he is now dating Olivia Wilde, and it was in One Direction. Harry Styles is 27. Ow! Okay, that's all I ever think of when I hear Harry Styles. I think of ow, because H's are ow. Former mixed martial artist who became the UFC Women's champion in 2012 and went on to successfully defend her title 6 times before you and I watched her lose in 2014 to Holly. What was her name? She was from Denver. I don't know, but we watched her lose at the Hooters in Anaheim. Right. But this is Ronda Rousey's birthday. She's 34. I could go on about her achievements, but Ronda Rousey. She was once married to Michael Jackson and had a thing with Nicolas Cage and is the daughter of Elvis Presley. Lisa Marie Presley is 53. He first gained recognition on the hit ABC series 6 Feet Under. Then he became a forensic lab guy who avenged the system and killed bad guys as Dexter. He's coming back as well. Michael C. Hall is 50. And lastly, pop star, actor, D in the Box. He was in NSYNC. He brought sexy back. This guy can do no wrong. Justin Timberlake is a young 40 years old. That's your celebrity birthdays for February 1st.
Well, folks, that does it for the entertainment news. When we come back, it's time for Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, February 1st. Now, we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. And if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now, being that it's Monday, and as we do on Mondays, we like to explore the funny things that kids do with a little segment we call Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids.
Hey everyone, I'm back with another segment. Woohoo! Aren't you so excited? We're going to cover today, so far, as we've only gotten 1 month into 2021, we've already got 50 of the funniest parenting tweets in 2021. So it comes to a close. There's always parenting challenges and interesting things that the kids do. So here are some. I'm not going to read you all 50, but here are some of the things that kids have done to their parents in this last month. So at NonPodHoritz on Twitter, yesterday I overheard my 2-year-old son saying, "Are you sure this is a good idea?" And my 5-year-old son replying, "Trust me. I have never moved from one room to another so quickly in my life."
Famous last words between brothers. And yeah.
Yes. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Trust me. So, yeah, that was the number one. That's pretty dang good. At Mary McCoy on Twitter, my kid thought that swearing in meant Joe Biden was going to stand at a podium on Wednesday and reel off all the curse words he knows. He's understandably a little disappointed now.
You know, I got a little bit of that swearing in ceremony here on tape.
Oh, from Not the Nanny on Twitter. Me, I thought you said you were taking these boxes to the garage. My husband, yeah, at some point. Our 7-year-old from the other room. That means she wants you to do it now.
Smart kid.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, don't piss mom off. Just get it done.
I'll do it later. No.
Yeah, get to it. No, you might want to do it now. Jessica Valenti on Twitter, whenever I get discouraged and want to quit something, I remember the words of my then 3-year-old after she puked carrots all over the living room floor. I'm going to need more carrots.
Gross.
That's pretty funny, though. Laura Marie on Twitter, the 8-year-old disrupted my sleep again, so I texted my mom at 2 a.m. to ask when it stops. The old, still bugging mom there.
Oh, yeah.
At Jenapalooza on Twitter, I think we've officially regressed back to medieval peasants. All we do is bake bread, revolt, and avoid plagues.
What's that have to do with... You're right.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with kids, Ron Burgundy. Jeez. Let's scroll. Here we go. Crockett on Twitter. I just made my daughter a grilled cheese, and her response was, "This is perfect. I bet you can't do it twice." So yes, she knows how to play the game. I love that. Oh, I need another one. Hey, I bet you can't do that again.
A little reverse psychology from the kid there.
Mom Jeans on Twitter. I couldn't decide if I wanted bangs or not, so I cut bangs for my daughter, and she looks awful. Dodged a bullet there. That's just mean.
Yeah, but
I ain't gonna ask my kid. I'm gonna see if it looks good. Yep, it looks like crap. Love you, sweetie.
Little kids can get away with it, though.
Yeah. Eric Smith on Twitter. The toddler took off his pants and threw them outside, shouting, "No!" May we all live this boldly. He is not having the pants. That's all.
Hopefully the kid's potty trained, though.
Yeah, hopefully. Jesse on Twitter. There was 15 Oreo cookies left, so to give each of my 4 children the same, I was forced to eat 11 of them. Oh, Jesse.
Oh, I've been there.
Oh, yeah, Dimple Sticks on Twitter. Every time I'm listening to my 80s playlist, 6-year-old, is this guy dead? No. Is this guy dead? No. How dead is this guy? Me just sobbing quietly into my tea.
Fatality.
Oh. Yeah. Most of them could be. Who knows? Let's see. Henpeck Tao, he pops up a lot on
Yeah, he does.
Twitter. Son, was I adopted? Me. Not yet.
Keep acting that way and you just
Keep
might
acting
be.
that way, Henpeck Tao's kid, and you will be. That mom, though, on Twitter, after brushing out her tangles, My daughter exclaimed she was prettier than a hippo in a dress, and it is hereby my daily mantra. Prettier than a hippo in a dress.
Hey, you know
all
that...
because the little one just said that.
Yeah, it's a low bar to aim for, though, you know. So if you anytime you're feeling prettier than a hippo in a dress, you're doing okay.
This is true. At Captain What's Its Name on Twitter, my kid asked me where babies come from, and I said everywhere, man. They're worldwide. That was the response. Kid didn't have a comeback on this one.
Was the dad Pitbull?
That's good. At mom on Twitter, I just told my 4-year-old to lick her elbow, and that bought myself 5 minutes of quietness.
Yeah, anything you can do to keep them occupied for just a couple minutes, well worth it.
There you go. Hey, lick your elbow. I can't do it.
Keep trying. You'll get it.
Oh. Let's see. So, Yoan Green on Twitter just sneezed and stunned one shrieking baby and 2 wrestling cats into silence. Is this a recommended parenting technique? Asking for a friend.
It might be the reason I have a dad sneeze, because yeah, it'll stop
it just
traffic.
Throws them out. Everyone's like, whoa. You're like, did he say it? At Rodney Lacroix on Twitter, child, hey mom, wife, oh my god, what now? Never mind, I'll ask Alexa. Hey Alexa, OMG, what now?
Jean Omer Marie Gabriel Monet was a French entrepreneur,
okay. Well,
diplomat,
there you guys go.
administrator.
I should have known better than to do that.
You ask and you shall receive.
I did. Yeah, she told me something about Jean Omer. I don't know who that is.
Okay.
But, as I look for some... Oh, okay, this is a good one. Vision board on Twitter. My son is sobbing right now because we told him nipple isn't a good name for a puppy.
Oh, so sad.
That's good. And Anne Thurlow on Twitter, 9-year-old. Sometimes it's okay to swear. Like when Mrs. Weasley uses the B word in the last Harry Potter book. But it wasn't okay when Aunt Marge used it in the 3rd book. Me. Do you have a catalog in your brain of all the times bitch was said in Harry Potter? 9-year-old. Yes.
That's awesome.
So, just remembers that. So, let's see. Let me go out on one more because that one was pretty good. Okay, this is the last one because I know we're out. So, Live Laugh Hard Unhinged on Twitter. I accidentally told my kid to eat. Oh, I can say this. I don't even have to bleep it out. I accidentally told my kid to eat shit while I was kicking his ass at Mario Kart. So if you need more parenting tips, I got you, fam. Could you imagine? You're like, that's right, eat shit. I threw a banana peel at you. You want a red turtle shell too? Koopa Troopa.
Parenting for the win. Well, folks, that does it for Silly Rabbit. This bit is for kids. When we come back, we've got a segment called The Wonderful World of Disney. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Monday, February 1st. Now we're into the final segment of the first hour of the show, but don't fret, there's still plenty ahead with our second hour, including our interactive topic, the greatest cereal prizes ever. Now, if you did miss a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends because sharing is caring. Now in this segment, speaking of sharing, we are big Disney fans around here. We like to go to Disneyland whenever we can. We love Disney movies and pretty much everything that is under the Disney banner, including Star Wars, Marvel, all of those sorts of things. But wanted to run down some little-known facts about Walt Disney, Disneyland, and some of the Disney properties that people may not know. So, for instance, to say Walt Disney had a lot riding on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs would be an understatement. Not only had he borrowed money to complete the film, he also mortgaged his home to help finance it. Obviously, the film was an absolute hit, but before its release, most of the Hollywood press thought the film would be a box office bomb. In fact, Walt's wife, Lillian, thought it would bomb as well. Goes to show that, one little project, one little thing can catapult all the rest of it. Just look at Iron Man from Marvel Studios. If that had failed, there wouldn't be this glut of comic book movies that we have today that are really good.
Yeah, it's always a good gamble, and Disney's got such a good name. It's awesome to hear that. I didn't know that he financed it all to get it going. I know he sacrificed a lot, but I didn't know he did that.
Yeah. I had no idea either, but apparently it did well enough that.
Because you look at the DC, they tried to roll that let's do like Marvel did, and it didn't go good, and
not so
that's
much.
why that thing is in shambles.
Definitely. Let's move on with the wonderful world of Disney. Here's another fun fact. Snow White, which we were just talking about, was the first film to release an accompanying soundtrack. First film ever to have a soundtrack related directly to the movie, released in record stores. Brilliant idea on Disney's part because, not only would the film make money, but the soundtrack would make money as well.
Yeah.
Let's move on. A little Mickey Mouse knowledge. This day in 1930, or not this day. I see a date and I automatically think of this day in history. In 1930, a Mickey Mouse writing tablet became the first Disney character merchandise. Walt Disney agreed to license the character to a company in New York for only $300 because, because he needed the money at the time. And there's a little picture of that writing tablet. Obviously, early Mickey Mouse, for the most part, black and gray with a little red mixed in. But the very first merchandised character, which is kind of cool.
No, that's very cool.
Tony, do you know what the very first Disney song to win an Oscar for Best Original Song was?
I don't. No.
It was When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio. Like I said,
Pinocchio.
The very first Disney song to win an Oscar. Obviously, they've won many, many since then. Most Disney movies to come out these days, not Pixar, but Disney, are musicals of some sort. And I think maybe it was Frozen that was the last one to win a Oscar for Best Original Song. All right, let's move on.
Good knowledge, man. Good knowledge.
Yeah. With the wonderful world of Disney, during World War II, 90% of what Walt Disney Studios produced was for the Allies' war effort. For instance, propaganda films, training films, and print campaigns. And so there's a picture of Donald Duck throwing a tomato into Hitler's eye. Really interesting stuff, knowing that, what they were trying to take on during World War II.
Cool.
Here's an interesting thing. Cinderella was the first time Disney shot the entire film in live action first, and they used it for reference to animate the movie. So they animated over the cells of people doing it in live action, which is essentially what people are doing in the latest CGI movies. It's motion capture to make it all that much more real, which is probably why it looked as good as it did for its time.
Oh, that's a fun fact. I didn't know that one either.
Yeah. Speaking of
Cinderella,
the narrator for Cinderella, whose voice you hear at the beginning of the movie, is voice actor Betty Lou Gerson, who is also the voice of Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians. Look at that. Speaking of voice actors who did the same role, not same role, but different Disney movies, both Lady Tremaine and Maleficent are voiced by the same actor, Eleanor Audley. And I would assume that our good buddy Tim is familiar with all of these voice actors. She was also the voice of Madame Leota in the Haunted Mansion ride. So when you're going around and that's that disembodied head in the orb, that's her as well.
Wow.
Yeah, little things.
That's always cool. That orb head is always neat.
Yeah. And it's amazing how they were able to superimpose, project the face onto, sort of a blank head and make it look as good as it is.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's move on with the wonderful world of Disney. Some lesser-known Disney facts. Like this, the Haunted Mansion has the distinction of being placed in a different land in every Disney park that has it. At Disneyland, the attraction is located in New Orleans Square. At the Magic Kingdom, it's in Liberty Square. At Tokyo Disneyland, it's located in Fantasyland. And at Disneyland Paris, it's located in Frontierland. Strange that it'd be in so many different possible locations.
Right. Make it more fun when you go visit all the different parks.
Well, and it's nice that the ride is also a little bit different in each one. You don't, go one to the other and get exactly the same ride.
Right.
Let's move on with the wonderful world of Disney. Sleeping Beauty took a long time to make. It first went into production in 1951 and wasn't released into theaters until 1959, 8 years later. Reportedly, one of the reasons why it was in production for so long was because Walt Disney was distracted as he was building Disneyland at the same time, which makes sense, but ultimately, Sleeping Beauty is quite the classic.
I watched it when I was a kid, but I don't really remember it, so.
That's all right. This one, the design of Anita in 101 Dalmatians was partly based on Julie Andrews, which you can definitely see in the little gift that they put up. And I'm going to post this on our Facebook page so everybody can check it out as well. Of course, Julie Andrews, who later went on to play Mary Poppins, in that role. And speaking of that, according to Jeffrey Sherman, son of Robert Sherman of the famous Sherman Brothers, he inspired the Mary Poppins song A Spoonful of Sugar after he told his dad that he had gotten his polio vaccine on a sugar cube. And I've recently had that song stuck in my head for whatever reason.
Have you really?
Yeah.
It makes the medicine go down.
Speaking of Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke's notorious Cockney accent was partially to blame on his Irish vocal coach Pat O'Malley, who, according to him, didn't do an accent any better than I did. Dick Van Dyke, obviously an American actor, doing a British accent, which came out Cockney with bits of Irish. Wasn't the greatest, but people still love that accent.
Take it down, Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, speaking of Wayne's World, let's move on with the wonderful world of Disney. Here's one. Disney wanted to get the Beatles to cameo as the vultures in the Jungle Book, but they turned them down. Reportedly, John Lennon was the one who did not like the idea and refused to be part of it. John Favreau, who directed the live-action adaptation, tried to pay homage to that by trying to get Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr to appear as vultures in the 2016 film, but said he was unable to get in contact with them, which makes sense if you look at the still shot from the vultures in the Jungle Book. Yeah, they've all got that sort of British bowl cut, and would have been fun to have the Beatles' voice.
Yeah, what? The Beatles. Hello.
Moving on, wonderful world of Disney, the Enchanted Tiki Room, the Tiki Room, which opened in 1963, was the first attraction at Disneyland to have air conditioning. They needed to install an air conditioning system in order to keep the computer system that ran it cool. So it wasn't even for the guests, it was for the computer system.
Oh, I was going to say, that's Mike told me about that, because that's where we go when it gets too dang hot. When you get the sticky ickies down south in Florida, you get that humidity, you go to the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Hey, that's a good way to do it. You know, it's it can get hot down there, so you definitely want to get cool where you can. And then finally, with the wonderful world of Disney, the version of Beauty and the Beast that Mrs. Potts sings in the film was the very first take that Angela Lansbury sang. Apparently she was so good she didn't need to do a second one. So, well, folks, that does it for the first hour. We've still got plenty ahead.
Last hour, man.
Oh, yeah. So hit the potty break, listen to the news, grab yourself a cup of tea, and we will see you all in about 7 minutes. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. To explore our complete lineup, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. The military seized power in Myanmar and declared a one-year state of emergency. De facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other governing party members have been detained. The coup follows elections which were won in a landslide by Aung San Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy party. The military says it took action because of election fraud. The UK is condemning what it is describing as a coup in Myanmar, as Benji Hire reports from London.
The British Prime Minister Boris Johnson says the vote of the people of Myanmar must be respected, demanding the release of the country's civilian leader and president. Those words were echoed by the Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab. In a UK government statement on the state of emergency in Myanmar, a spokesperson called on the military to respect the rule of law and human rights and advocated the peaceful reconvening of the National Assembly, respecting the results of the November 2020 general election. European leaders have issued similar condemnations. Benji Hire, London.
The government of Portugal is requesting assistance from European neighbours as the country's health system struggles to cope with the resurgence of COVID-19. The German military has responded to the plea, preparing to send doctors and nurses. Trent Murray reports from Berlin.
The German military has said it will send specialist medical teams and equipment to Portugal. The deployment follows a plea from Portugal for international assistance as the country struggles with a surge of coronavirus cases. The Portuguese government has set up 850 special intensive care beds for sick COVID-19 patients. But of that 850, it now says only 7 beds remain vacant. The deployment of German medical teams follows similar support efforts from Austria, where the government has said it will be flying sick patients from Lisbon to Vienna to provide care in the Austrian healthcare system. Trent Murray, Berlin.
At least 5 people are dead after an attack on a hotel in the Somali capital Mogadishu. Militant group Al-Shabaab claimed responsibility for the attack, which started with a car bomb and led to a gun battle with security forces. Former US President Donald Trump says he has a new legal team to defend him at his upcoming impeachment trial. 5 members of his team abruptly left last week. Nick Harper reports from Washington.
A statement from Donald Trump's office announced that he'd be represented at his impeachment trial by lawyers David Schoen and Dr. Castor Jr. The statement said both men believe the impeachment of the former president, rather than a sitting one, as would usually be the case, is unconstitutional. The former president has reportedly struggled to find lawyers willing to take up his case. Trump is accused of incitement of insurrection for provoking his supporters to storm the US Capitol building on January the 6th. The trial is due to start in just over a week's time, and Trump is the first US president to ever be impeached twice. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you? What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this. To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks, to the second hour of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It's a Monday, February 1st. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, that first hour felt like a second hour. It just zoomed right by.
It really did. It totally just... And that's usually hour 2 for us, but that one went good. So enjoyed it, and yeah, here we go. Hour number 2, which is normally the fast hour, so
we will
let's
see.
Roll.
Well, hour 2 not only is the fast hour, but it also when we kick off the interactive portion of the show, which we are dead in the middle of right now, or at least kicking off. Now, we do give you the topic 24 hours in advance, so you guys can chime in on the Fenix line, which is 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO, or 855-336-4973. Or you can always chime in live. Boy, I'm getting ahead of myself. Always chime in live on Facebook at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just click into the live video there. Go into the comments and let us know what your pick is for. Well, today's topic is the greatest cereal prizes. Now, I don't buy a whole lot of cereal, and when I do, I get it from Costco in bulk. It rarely ever includes a prize or a toy, and it's usually more of the adult type cereals, Honey Nut Cheerios, Frosted Mini Wheats, not the sugary stuff that we used to get as kids. But when we were kids, there were so many great prizes that came in boxes of cereal that really was the reason that from week to week we would buy one cereal brand over another. Wasn't because we wanted the taste of the cereal, we wanted the prize. Now, Tony, right. I know, obviously growing up around the same era, you probably did the same thing. What comes to mind as your favorite cereal prize that you ever got?
Believe it or not, I can't remember a lot of the cool little toys because there was always something like, I don't remember which brand had a Hot Wheel. Sometimes there was like a Hot Wheel or a knockoff of Hot Wheel. The most memorable one I can remember was Captain Crunch. You get baseball cards.
That's
so you
right.
get a lot of like the big name stars. The only caveat was they didn't have their baseball logos on there. So like I had a Ken Griffey Jr., but he didn't have the Mariners on there. It was just a blank thing. And I had a Jose Canseco, didn't have the Oakland A's. It was just like a generic uniform he was in.
Huh.
But it was still really cool. I mean, they were cool to get like baseball cards because I was really into them at the time. So
I wonder if those are worth anything today. Have you ever tried looking them up?
No, I guess I could look it up right now. Let's just hypothetically. While you're telling me yours, I will chime in and tell you.
Okay. Yeah, when I was putting this topic together, the one that kept popping up in my mind were the glow-in-the-dark wacky wall crawlers you would get from Fruit Loops, probably about the mid-'80s, and they looked like an octopus, and of course, they were in a bag, and they were like super sticky, and you'd chuck them at the wall.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, they'd stick for a second, and then they would start like crawling down the wall, with the different limbs hanging on. And of course, they glowed in the dark. Glue in the dark. You would hold them up to a light source, get them really bright, then turn out the light, throw them at the wall, and watch them go down. I think they came in green, blue, red, and orange. And were a lot of fun, It was one of those fond memories as a kid that's one of those that just really sticks with me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Isn't it weird how it's just like certain ones stick with you? I'm looking right now. If you go to eBay, they're on average going anywhere from, like the whole sets, they're going from $13 to $25.
Okay, so nothing to write home about, but
no. And I'm flipping through, and you actually only got a couple of cards per box, and there was definitely. I had almost all of them. I'm looking at this. I didn't have George Brett or Alan Trammell or Jack Clark, but I had everybody else.
Okay.
We're talking like Will Clark was in there from the Giants, Kirby Puckett, Mark McGuire. And they were actually co-branded by Topps. So they weren't just generic Captain Crunch baseball cards. They were Topps. So
yeah, and Topps probably
not the most money, but definitely memorable for sure.
Yeah, Topps probably one of the biggest names in trading cards, next to Fleer and Upper Deck. Boy, those bring back memories. But I'm curious if there are people out there that collect classic cereal prizes. There's people that do that for like McDonald's Happy Meal toys, which that's a whole nother topic we could talk about another day. But seeing how these things hold up.
Sticky stuff, I typed that in, vintage Kellogg cereal, toy sticky fingers, a lot of 4 of them goes for $20. The octopus one goes for $10.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, so there is some of it out there.
Yeah, not bad for a $3 box of cereal.
Yeah, it goes for some money on there.
Well, folks, we are talking about the greatest cereal prizes ever. We do want you to chime in on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just go into the live video there, comment there with your pick for the best cereal prize ever. And when we come back, it is all about you guys. So go ahead and chime in now and let us know. And we'll run down some of our favorite ones throughout the years. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired, Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m. and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at fenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at fenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Monday, February 1st. Now we are smack dab in the middle of our interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the viewers and listeners. Go ahead and chime in on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. All you got to do is click into the live video, comment there. Our topic of the day is the best cereal prizes ever. Now, we gave ours before the break. Tony was talking baseball cards and Captain Crunch. Mine were the wacky, wobbly, what are they called? I got it here. Glow-in-the-dark wacky wall walkers, which was like an octopus sticky thing you threw against the wall and it trickled on down. Tony, anybody chime in on your end as far as their picks for best cereal prizes ever?
Yeah, I got one. My friend Jamie, she said that she remembers getting some kind of watch in a cereal box. It was hot pink. It was a big deal because there was 3 of us girls, so I actually got to have it. So it was, I think that was Honeycomb that had those watches.
It was, and I've got a full list here. Where is it? Because I just passed it the other couple minutes ago. Here we go. Yeah, Honeycomb digital watches. Doesn't say what year it came out, but had 8 different styles that you could get, which is a crazy thing to think a digital watch came in a box of cereal.
Right. So that's a good thing, but that's all I got. That was the only interactive portion I got so far. Mike keeps thinking that all he remembers is Happy Meal toys he got.
Okay.
But he doesn't remember that. That might have to be a topic for another time, too, Happy Meal toy.
I've got some fond memories of Happy Meal toys, so I would love to do that.
There was a lot of those. But that's all he could think of. And same with Lacey. She's like, sorry, I don't have any for that one. So
that's okay.
It's a good thing because I know that you probably have a trusty list, and we can kind of vamp and
I do
see if it's something we remember or we had no idea that existed.
Yeah, so I'm going to run down the list and really bring up the ones that I kind of remember from our childhood. Some of these predate us to the 1970s, but there are definitely ones that I remember. Hopefully you remember as well. So let's go ahead and start off with Captain Crunch Surfers. Oh, yeah!
Were they the Soggies?
They weren't the Soggies, but they were surfers. So around 1983, Crunch Berries and other varieties of Captain Crunch offered snap-together Captain Crunch servers. There were 3 possible surfers in the shape of Captain Crunch, his pirate foe Jean Lafoot, or his friend Smedley the elephant. Directions: gently hold toy underwater to fill, hold on top of the water, balance your surfer, then let them go. I vaguely remember this one. What I remember more so were little squirt gun characters. They weren't guns, but like you would fill them up with water and they would squirt, and they had a Soggies version of that one. Do you recall that one at all?
Don't remember those. No.
Yeah, that's all right. How about the Fruity Pebbles color-changing dinosaurs? A couple times in the 90s, both Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles offered color-changing dinosaurs. The small plastic figures had to be dipped into ice water to change color. Room temperature water would not work. In 1995, the dinosaurs available were a Brachiosaurus, a Stegosaurus, a Parasaurolophus, and a Dimetrodon. Okay. Words are hard today.
Dimetrodon!
But do you remember those color-changing dinosaurs, Tone?
I do, yes. And it actually triggered, it reminds me, I don't know if it was Frosted Flakes, but do you remember the color-changing spoons? And that could have also been Rice Krispies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a mixture of, maybe it did have Snap, Crackle, Pop, and Tony the Tiger. And it was just a plastic spoon, but it did the same thing. It would turn. I remember I had a blue one that would turn purple when you put it in the milk.
That's right. And I think it was across all the Kellogg's brands. So you would get different collectible ones for the different Kellogg's properties. Which
because I do recall having a Tony the Tiger one, and I could have sworn that my sister had one that had Snap, Crackle, or Pop. I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I forgot about those. I'm glad you brought them up. That was fun. All right, let's move on.
Oh, yeah!
This one I don't remember, but I also never bought the cereal. Urkel for President campaign buttons. If you were a kid in the 90s, you probably loved or at least tolerated a character named Steve Urkel from the ABC TV sitcom Family Matters. The lovable nerd was so popular that Ralston gave him his own cereal called Urkelos in 1991.
Oh, I remember Urkelos.
I never had them, never tried them.
I never had them either. Urkel. It actually made me think of the show New Girl. Jess does an impersonation. She does, I do the Urkel. Then I do that. And he's just looking at her. He goes, I don't know what you're doing. And she's like, Steve Urkel. Then I do that. I don't know who that is. It was a pretty funny episode because it was a pretty piss poor impersonation.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that was I forget about Urkelos. I do remember that being a cereal. I never had it, but I do remember seeing it.
Yeah, there were a lot of branded cereals that lasted a very short period of time, which
gotta say, I know it wasn't a toy, but the Nintendo cereal, obviously we talk theme songs and stuff. I do remember that cereal, and I remember it not being very good. But it was very, like, a cool box.
Mm-hmm.
But it never came with any prizes, though. It just came with little tips on how to beat, like, the Nintendo games. It was, like, little tips and tricks for Zelda and Mario and whatever games were out at the time. Excite Bike, Punch-Out.
Awesome. Yeah, they were so much fun. And, talk about a nostalgic cereal, especially for us. But let's move on with the greatest cereal prizes.
Oh, yeah!
I don't know if you remember these, the Super Sugar Crisp Action Pinball. Super Sugar Crisp offered action pinball games. There were 6 to collect, including an Animal Fun game, a Shooting Stars game, and a Sugar Bear game. Sturdy action pinball games came complete with action trigger arm and 3 to 5 pinballs for long-lasting fun. Trade with your friends. And those were the little baseball card sized, they had a plastic see-through part, cardboard back, and then the little thing that you would
those
flick.
Were chintzy.
Yeah.
They were really chintzy.
Now, as I'm going through here, I'm not seeing any of the ones. You remember you had to cut out the proof of purchases and send like 3 or 4
send in stuff. Yeah, because there were certain things you could collect that were much better, but you had to get your parents' permission and you had to mail in like the barcode and all that.
Yeah, but I don't remember offhand any particular ones, but those prizes were always a little bit better than what actually came in the cereal.
Yeah. I don't have. I wish there was a standout, like, memorable one,
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, Cookie Crisp never came with anything. I just remember we loved Cookie Crisp.
Right, because it was cookies as a cereal.
Yeah, it was.
What more could you
it was
ask
delicious.
for?
Yeah, why would you not like it?
Well, let's move on with some more cereal prizes.
Oh yeah!
This one was a little after our time, but something I definitely would have gotten as a kid. In celebration of the film Star Wars Episode III, Revenge of the Sith, several brands of Kellogg's cereal, including Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, and Apple Jacks, offered light-up saber spoons. Start your day with real Jedi action. Watch Spoon light up when you press the button to activate the Force within. Master your moves and let the battle begin. Blast your way through breakfast. Harder to find are similar Indiana Jones light-up adventure spoons released for the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull by Kellogg's a couple years later in 2008. I don't remember those ones, but I do remember seeing the light-up lightsaber spoons.
I do remember seeing those as well.
Yeah, those were always fun. Here's one I don't remember particularly well, but definitely would have collected as a kid. Oh, yeah! Starbots were Kellogg's answer to the popularity of the Transformers in and around 1984. Unlike Transformers, which were usually cars and trucks that transformed into robots, Starbots were airplanes, rockets, and spaceships. They were available in Honey Smacks, Fruit Loops, OJ's, Apple Jacks, and other Kellogg's cereals. Have plenty of fun on land and in the air as you change each Starbot from a sleek flying aircraft to a land-roving robot. Decorate them with decals inside and build a complete fleet. There is one converting robot-type toy in each specially marked Kellogg's cereal package. Again, don't remember that one well, but definitely one I'd collect if they were around, at least at the time.
Oh, I don't really remember those ones.
I don't either. We talked about the honeycomb digital watches, which were chintzy and cool, sort of a novelty thing. God, I want to say late 80s, early 90s. It's strange that something digital would come in a cereal box. Always a lot of fun. And then finally, with our rundown of cereal prizes, the best cereal prizes. Oh, yeah! Here's one.
Oh, yeah!
Just before our time tone, but would have been kind of cool to get. In 1980, Post-Alphabet cereal enticed kids to start growing your own garden with one of 3 different terrariums inside. The terrariums looked cool and they actually worked. Depending on the terrarium you got, you would grow either sweet basil, fine curled cress, or violet queen elysium. So now if you ever asked if a cereal ever contained basil, you can give a real good wise guy reply. This premium was also available in Post-Sugar Crisp cereal. Again, very strange that a terrarium would come in a cereal box.
Right. Very strange, man. Very strange.
But folks, that does it for our interact portion of the show. Talking best cereal prizes ever. Now tomorrow, we're talking on the cheap. What products should you never, ever, ever buy from the dollar store on the cheap? You want to pay a little extra maybe for the name brand. That's what we're talking about tomorrow. Tony, before we go to the break, was there one last thing you wanted to chime in on?
No.
Oh, okay.
There's no. I was just kind of just doing that. I don't know.
Taking it in. All right, fair enough.
Yep. No other messages from anybody, so I think we're good.
Right on. Well, folks, that does it for the interactive portion. When we come back, it's another edition of Phoenix Tank Kickstarter Gadgets. You won't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Monday, February 1st. Now, we talk about it a couple times each show. It is the Fenix Line. It is our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. It's also how we do a lot of our interactive portion of the show, including the topic for tomorrow, which is on the cheap. What do you never buy on the cheap? What should you always spring for the name brand for? We've got our choices. Make sure you chime in with yours at the Fenix Line on 855 Fenix Radio. That's 855 FENIX RDO or 855 336 4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, in this segment, we're going to revisit a topic we do every once in a while. It is the Fenix Tank. We're going to run down the Kickstarter gadgets with Tony to find out if he'd invest. So without further ado, let's get into the Fenix Tank. All right, first item on the Fenix Tank, and Tony, I'm going to put this up on your screen so you can see it as well as the viewers. We are talking about the Vision Check IQ test, smartphone vision test. They are looking for a total of $30,000, but they've already raised $128,939. So they're well on their way. But the question is it something that Tony would invest in? Here's the description. Welcome to the future of vision testing. No appointments, no waiting rooms. The IQ Vision Check 2 is the most convenient way to check your vision anytime, anywhere with real-time results. Use the personalized results to order new glasses online and track vision changes over time. This powerful smartphone attachment uses MIT patented technology to measure your refractive error and provide eyeglass numbers, the lens power needed to correct nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism. The Vision Check 2 comes with the PD Check pupillary distance measurement tool, so you can quickly and accurately capture your PD and order glasses with ease. And looking through, looks like one of these kits, at least in the early bird stages, will cost you about $68, so not cheap by any measure. But, if you're worried about your vision, it might be something to look into. But, Tony, I bring it back to you. Is it the IQ Vision Check 2, something that you would invest in, something that you'd spend a little money on? How do you see it?
Well,
Pardon the pun.
me personally, I wouldn't I wouldn't get it only because I don't see me needing a use for it. However, it being a cool technical technology. Wow, that made no sense. It's convenience for those that don't have like they can afford to go see the eye doctor, or they don't want to wait. They just want to take it, and just they're busy. They want to order. I think that's a good thing. I'd still rather just go get my eyes checked by a professional, have them diagnose it so I can get the right things versus trying to do it myself. But, I do like where it's going, so I'll give that the Taco Bell bong. So
there you go.
I'd say yay. I think it'd be a good device. I just personally wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can sort of take going out off the table, especially with what we're dealing with right now, that's one thing. My question is, how accurate is it? Are people ordering glasses based on false numbers and doing more damage? Who knows? But in any case, it's not up to me to decide. It's up to Tony, our Phoenix Tank Phoenix, to decide if he's investing. In that case, he would.
Phoenix Tank Phoenix, then you're bleep out of luck.
All right, let's move on to our next one.
Psycho 8 rolling up the phone line.
Yep, you see it. It is the Psycho Ape collectible trading card set. They are seeking a total of $333 and have raised a total of $3,495. Here is the description. Here it is, the retro trading card series based on the greatest movie ever made by Addison Binnick. During a worldwide pandemic, on a budget of almost nothing. Psycho Ape the movie, it's a love story about the love between a weird teenage girl and a rampaging psychotic ape featuring the worst ape costume ever put on the screen. It's a detective story about a dedicated and driven sadistic detective, Dr. Zoomis, tracking down the psychotic ape over decades. It's a road trip story about Nancy Banana and Psycho Ape being chased through forests, escaping from prison, and up to the top of the Empire State Building. It's a special effects extravaganza, galaxy-spanning space opera with huge movie stars and, okay, it's not that, but it's all the other stuff from the publisher of such trading card classics as The Chronicles of the Three Stooges, Mystery Science Theater 3000, Zorro, and Manos, The Hands of Fate, comes R.R. Parks' card's greatest achievement yet, this month anyway, the Psycho Ape trading card series. Now looking through, it looks like for $2 you can get a promo card, you can get 4 promo cards for $5, or you can get the base set for $24. Tony, I know you're a fan of this movie. It actually sounds like something straight out of Big Bang Theory, if you recall the movies that Penny was in. But
yeah,
is the Psycho Ape trading card set something you would invest in?
Oh, man. Nope. And it's just not for me. It sounds stupid. And it's just like, I would love to just come up with a jingle for it, just
right.
Gotta get 'em all, Psycho Ape. Yes, I stole that from Pokemon. When you're running with Anna Banana, Psycho Ape, you're gonna trade your cards. Psycho Ape and a banana, Psycho Ape.
Reminds me, like when we were kids, there were trading cards for everything that really didn't need trading cards, including movies. Yeah,
I remember having Batman 1989 movie trading cards, the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie.
That's right.
Even the cartoon, The Turtles. I have trading cards from Topps from them too. I'll trade you a Donatello for a Michelangelo eating a piece of pizza.
So needless to say, this isn't something Tony would invest in, but there's enough people that are at least making that thing.
I feel like this would be a good trading card topic to talk about on Pop Culture Kaboom with Jimmy.
There you go. I like
Usually
it.
covers weirdo stuff like that. So
All right.
that one's definitely a
All right, Tony. Well, maybe that one's not for you, but this next one is. Let's move on to our final product on the Fenix tank. Yes, look closely so you can figure it out.
It's what I thought it was, huh?
It is exactly what you think it is. It's called the Sip Sack Breastfeeding Made for All. And if you ever saw Meet the Fockers with, it was the sequel to Meet the Parents, this is almost totally just ripped off from exactly that. Now they're seeking $70,000. They've only raised $183 so far. But it is exactly what it looks like. It is a fake breast and nipple designed to help feed babies. The Sip Sack is the first and only feeding apparatus of its kind. We're introducing the next to breast thing on the market. See what they did there? The pun.
Yeah, I like the tongue-in-cheek there. Punny. Very punny.
The Sip Sack looks, feels, and functions like the breast to simulate the breastfeeding process. The Sip Sack was designed to mimic a nursing mother's breast and its natural functions. This makes it easier for parents to share the load of feeding time. For those who are not able to nurse naturally, the Sip Sack gives your baby the most lifelike feeding experience and gives the comfort of breastfeeding as well. Looking through, it looks like the starter one, Sip Sack with 2 milk bags, will run you about $119. Not cheap, but at the same time, for people who are struggling to breastfeed, this might be worth it. Of course, they've only raised $183 of their $70,000 goal. So, Tony, I have to ask you, is this something you would invest in?
Oh, man. Okay, so they only raised $183 or $183,000?
Only $183 so far.
Oh yeah, they're definitely, the dream is not. It's done. It's just done.
It doesn't say
it's just,
when it was launched, so it may be just a brand new launch and it hasn't gained traction yet. But
I mean, the thing is I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but wouldn't it just be easier? Like, it shows a dad holding the baby in the picture, right?
Yeah, and that's just...
Wouldn't it like be easier to just hold your baby like so in the bottle? Maybe it's just like one less little thing. It's just sitting there and you're like, eh.
Well, and really the reason I picked this one is because it is straight out of Meet the Fockers. I mean, it's...
Yeah, it is. I mean, maybe it's convenient. I don't know. It would be a little weird. You got your buddies over. You're watching the big game and... they're like, what are you doing? And they're like, they're just looking at you and they're like, bruh. And you're like, what's going on? And you're like, I'm feeding my baby. And they're like, bruh.
Hey,
it's just weird to me.
As long as you don't mix up the milk and the beer, you should be okay. But,
yeah,
it is one of those things.
Go Buccaneers, man! Shh, the baby's sleeping. Attached to my tit. It's good.
And folks, I am going to be posting this on our Facebook page, so you can check them all out and invest if you want to. But regardless, that does it for another edition of the Fenix Tank, featuring Kickstarter gadgets. When we come back, we are heading into the final segment of the show. Yes, it is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired, Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Monday, February 1st. Now we've reached the final segment of the show for today. I almost said the first hour, but boy, both hours went by so fast. Now, if you missed a portion of the show, or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it is easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts, whether it's Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Yes. Saved us all, whatever that one was.
Yeah. Well, there was some I was playing with on the break, and some were funny, and then there was one I found, it was good, but then it drops a random F-bomb, and I was like, yep, let's play that one.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Well, folks, while you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends, because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, and as we like to do at the end of each show is drop a little knowledge on you, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right, this day in 1587, Queen Elizabeth I of England signs a death warrant for her cousin Mary, Queen of Scots. Wow.
Great Scott!
I wonder what the feud was there that you can just sign a death warrant for your cousin. It's all good.
I'm just done with her. Off with her head. Mary, you Queen of Scots.
Moving on, this day in 1862, Ralph Waldo... Let's back that up real quick, because all day. All right. This day in 1862, Ralph Waldo Emerson and Charles Sumner meet with President Abraham Lincoln at the White House in Washington. Ralph Waldo Emerson is a poet and a lecturer. Doesn't say what they met about, but, meeting of great minds nonetheless.
My cat's breath smells like cat food. That's what I think when I hear Ralph.
Different
I'm
Ralph.
a meme.
Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah.
Ralph
Wiggum Emerson.
Let's move on. This day in 1893, Thomas Edison completes the world's first movie studio at West Orange, New Jersey. course, it wasn't Hollywood, and it was 1893, so before the big budget pictures, but, again, that leads to everything that we're doing these days, even if he may or may not have stolen a few ideas from
I was going to say, well, did he steal this one too?
Probably.
Medicine.
Moving on, this day in 1898, this goes to show that for whatever there is out there, people will figure out insurance to put on it. This day is the first auto insurance policy in the U.S. issued by Travelers Insurance Company before automobiles were even really a thing at that point.
Wow, I didn't know they were the first. I actually have them for my renter's insurance.
Do you really? Huh.
Yeah, I partner, I have everything through Geico, but when it comes to the renter's insurance for your home, that's who they sub put me in. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, that they've been around so long, and of course it's not car insurance, but close enough.
No, using them from home, so that's good.
All right, moving on, getting through World War II because just so many depressing things.
It's just depressing and sad.
Yeah. Don't like any of it. So, here's a good one.
Nope, don't like it.
This day in 1950, Green Bay Packers founder, player, and coach Curly Lambeau resigns after 31 seasons and 6 NFL titles to his credit. Hence Lambeau Field, and all the greatness to come out of Green Bay was really on the back of Curly Lambeau. I'm going to name my kid Curly, by the way.
Curly, you and Jesse gonna have another kid, name it Curly?
Yep, just for that reason.
No, I like it. That's crazy though that he was the founder, and then he's like, you know what? I'm gonna create the Green Bay Packers. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play for them. I'm gonna coach them, and then I'm gonna win 6 NFL titles. Yeah,
it's amazing. Now, I can't remember his name, but I had the honor of meeting one of the very first Green Bay Packer Super Bowl I champions, and when I was working in the car business, and it was really interesting just to meet somebody who was so a part of history. He showed me his ring, which obviously isn't as gaudy or as big or as bejeweled as they are now.
Is the modern day ones.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's awesome, though.
This day in 1953, You Are There with Walter Cronkite premieres on CBS television. I don't recall the show, but of course everybody knows Walter Cronkite as a huge name in journalism. Back when facts were facts and they were just reporting the news, and it was a little less editorial than it is now.
Yeah. And You Are There with Walter Cronkite. Catch us now on CBS All Access, soon to be Paramount TV.
Right. This day in 1964, the Beatles' first #1 hit, I Want to Hold Your Hand, topped the Hot 100, stays #1 for 7 weeks before being replaced by She Loves You, also by the Beatles.
Yeah, I thought it was replaced by Weird Al's I Want a Health Care Plan.
No, that would be much later down the road.
Okay.
This day in 1965, Martin Luther King Jr. and 700 demonstrators are arrested in Selma, Alabama. Obviously, the subject of the movie Selma, which was a fantastic movie. I saw it on a plane once, and fairly recent release. Obviously, talking about Martin Luther King and everything that happened in that incident.
Yeah. Legendary, just fantastic civil rights activist. He's done a lot for us. So.
Yep. Also, same day, 1965, we were talking news anchors just a minute ago. Peter Jennings, 26, becomes anchor of ABC's Nightly News. I didn't realize he was 26 when that happened. Holy cow.
Yeah, me either. He was definitely the voice of my evening news. I always knew it was dinner time when you heard Peter Jennings.
Oh, totally.
Dee, 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 dee. And he would come on. It was always right after the local KOLO. It's just Colo. That's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
Colo. But I always thought it was KOLO.
NBC's Nightly
8.
News.
So after Tad Dunbar would come off the screen, then you'd have Peter Jennings.
Yeah. I mean, he was the go-to anchor of the late 80s, early 90s.
You knew it was time, man. It was almost dinner time. Dad was coming home when Peter Jennings came on TV.
Well, let's move on. This day in 1968, we were just talking Green Bay Packers. Vince Lombardi steps down as the Green Bay Packers head coach in favor of longtime assistant Phil Bengston, stays on as Packers general manager for 1968. Again, another Green Bay Packers great.
Yep, and that's what everyone competes for every year, the Lombardi Trophy.
Exactly. Also in sporting history, this day in 1969, nice. In his first start with Ford, legendary driver Richard Petty wins the Motor Trend 500 at Riverside, California. Previous 92 NASCAR victories were all in Plymouths. So made the switch to Ford, and who would have thunk he actually goes on to win it?
Yep, and Petty always rocked a badass cowboy hat and a mustache.
Oh, always. You could always count on that.
Richard Petty. And I always remember the powder blue car. Was he number 43?
I think so.
Yeah,
drawing a blank at the moment. But let's move on. This day in 1978, also talking about great honors in history. Harriet Tubman is the first African-American woman to be honored on a U.S. postage stamp. Boy, a lot of stamp talk here recently, but
yeah, it is.
She definitely deserved
it. Thanks to this show and you, I now know you have to have been passed away to be on there.
Exactly. This day in 1978, director Roman Polanski skips bail and fled to France after pleading guilty to charges of engaging in sex with a 13-year-old girl. Ugh, despicable.
Disgusting.
And
he's still on the lam, right? Like, he's still, like, if he steps foot in the U.S.,
yep,
he'll get popped for that, so he's never come back to the United States.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, he deserves to be arrested and extradited for that. That's
he's a piece
uncalled
of crap.
for.
Yep.
This day in 1982, Late Night with David Letterman debuts on NBC TV. His first guest, Mr. Bill Murray.
Oh, I love it. Bill was not that old and when he was on there. He was definitely a young Saturday Night Liver.
Oh, yeah. This was right before Ghostbusters came out.
Yeah.
All right. This day in 1991, American writer John Grisham publishes his second novel, The Firm, and it was the best-selling novel of the year. And, of course, a Tom Cruise movie that came out a couple of years later.
Yeah. John Grisham, man, he went on to do a lot of big novels, too. A lot of lawyer-type movies.
Right.
Books.
And he still does. I mean, to this day. All right, and then finally, this day in history, this day in 2013, House of Cards starring Kevin Spacey as Frank Underwood and Robin Wright as his wife is released on Netflix. Of course, he has been blackballed from Hollywood at this point, but it was still a great show.
You didn't mention it was the Birthday Boys' famous music wardrobe malfunction from the Super Bowl.
Oh, it didn't
that
pop
happened
up on
today.
Yeah, that's funny.
On mine, it just showed Janet Jackson said, on this day, the wardrobe malfunction. So this is the infamous titty day of that.
Well, folks, let's run down some of today's holidays before we leave.
Titty day.
Yes, you did say that. All right, folks.
I thought you were going to say that.
It is Car Insurance Day. It is Change Your Password Day, Decorating with Candy Day, G.I. Joe Day, National Dark Chocolate Day, National Baked Alaska Day, Hula in the Kula Day, National Get Up
Hula
Day,
in the Kula.
Spunky Old Broads Day, and National Serpent Day. Ooh,
I want to celebrate Spunky Old Broad Day.
There you go. Folks, that does it for Monday. We'll be back tomorrow on a Tuesday with Animal Tales. Enjoy your day.
Peace!